Liquidity secrets exposed. Catching those insane breakouts using TradingView charts. All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope all is well. Okay. All right, so price is in balance of last session. Last session is pretty wide, actually. After the buy up first 5 minutes, the market sold off, and we're in an area of liquidity, possible liquidity rejection. Looks like it. Maybe move this over there. All right, so there was a decent amount of sellers, buyers giving up on their trades, getting stopped out. There's a lot of activity happening 221.12 to 221.06. I would love to see price go back up there. Um, let's see. Current POC dropped a little bit, so is that it was 221.20 now to 221.17. Okay, fix that. So I want to see that reaction up because there is a POC now. We're dropping it now. I want us to at least go back into the 221.12 area. That's where the bulk of the selling is happening at the moment. All right, so I have 221 puts and 220 puts. Current price 221s are 136 and 220s are 100. I'm sorry, and 80. The 220s are 87. Okay, so all right, we got that pop into that area with 2 minutes into cash. Let's see if it stays there for cash open. I like how we're popping up in that area. There is heavy activity again, 221.12 to 221.06. I have 220s in my active trader. I still like the 220s unless we go a little higher, maybe 221.17, then I'll switch. But I still feel good about 220s for now. I feel like that's the right contract to play. Small um iceberg order, buy iceberg orders are on the books now. I mean, they're very small. VIX is below the 20 mark and it's kind of trading in or moving in a range. There is a lot of selling. Again, still in that 221 range, 221.12 area to 221.06. At cash, if it pops into that area, that would be a great place to sell from if we see a reaction down. And we're starting to see that already happening, which I hope it doesn't happen too fast. All right, now we're going back into that area. All right, with 10 seconds into cash open, starting to see some absorption triggers get hit. Let's see how that goes. All right. Opening now. Good push up into that area. All right, I'm gonna switch to 221s because we're nice in there. And they're going for $70 per contract. All right. So I've switched to 221 puts. I'm starting to see that reaction a little bit. 221 puts are going for $72. All right, I'm entering here, 221 puts, $72. That was a nice rejection. Let's see if it continues down. 72, write that down. I'm seeing a hell of a rejection down. There we go. It took forever. Come on, keep pushing. Yeah, now they're falling. I think we caught a whale today. 72, 77. Come on, what y'all doing? Keep going. Why are we rejecting? Keep going. Ah, why are they rejecting it? That was a hell of a drop, though. Come on, sellers. Okay, that's it. Maybe that's it. Let's see. Current low is 220.86. There we go. Woo! I thought y'all was gonna stop for a second. 72. All right, I'm out of here. 82. Got my first 10. Moving my stop to 75. That they the buyers came and bought up real quick at that buyer's area. I think that's gonna be it because there's a buying deviation right there. I think we may have just caught it at the perfect time because the sellers dropped it and then buyers just said, you know what? See, the sellers are going again. There's some infighting. Well, we caught our first 10, 72 to 82, and that was at 76. The sellers, they want to push it down right at that selling area that I said too. There was a lot of activity. Yep, I think that's it. That's going to be it for us. And I am out. I am out of it. So $10. Good way to end the week. But look at those sellers though. They're still trying. And now they're going again. Back to 78. Yeah, they took if this go to 20, it basically just gave me 10. I would take it all here. It looks like it's 77. But there's some infighting, but the sellers are coming stronger than the buyers. Yeah, they could keep coming stronger than the buyers because there was before cash open, there was a big order to stop out, but the buyers are just not giving up right now. Huh. I wonder who's gonna win this one. All right. That was pretty quick. Let's see. 72 to 82. And right now, price is at 71, but it's the sellers are still dropping it. And now they're really coming in heavy. The only caveat or issue I may have is that there's a deviation buy right at 220.80, which we're almost there. But look like they're trying to drop that. So price is at 80, so I would sell it depending on where you bought it. It's dropping now. So now they're really coming in heavier. Now there's at 83. It took a minute, but the buyers they refused to give up for a hot second. Now they look like they're giving up. And I am recording today, so you're gonna see this later. But 16 stop outs is pretty big in the futures market. Look at them selling now. So that was a big order to stop the buyers getting stopped out. So that gave the confidence, and then look at this drop here. I would have had 20 if I would have held it, but my number one rule, if I make profit, I gotta protect it. And I can walk away and be okay with that. 73 to 83 to 70, good way to protect your profit. Even though it looks like if I think the market would have gave us more, but my rule is to protect the profit. The only thing we can't tell is how long a move is going to be. So any good trader leaves money on the table. It's just being structured to take the profit how what your rules are. Right, exactly. Don't sacrifice the meat for the gravy. 1000%. And then, I mean, we left money on the table, but that's one thing I've never been able to figure out. I don't know any trader that has, is how long a move is going to be. We have areas, right? We have buyers and seller areas, but there's no guarantee that price is going to go from one end zone to another. As uh, as we say, words of wisdom. Yeah, take what you can get. That's why I'm strict with my 10 and 20. I don't always get the 20, but if I get the 10, that's a good day for me as well. And yeah, the whales are definitely selling it. Great way to end the week. Great way to and look at that. Buyers are getting absorbed now too, so it's all falling. They're finally getting absorbed too. 208. That's a huge number of sellers. I'm sorry, of buyers getting absorbed. So again, right off that area I said before cash open, 221.12 to 221.06 was a huge area of participation. Price went and tested was the current POC 221.17, which is now not that, but it was that before cash open. Tested it, dropped it. Was just above the VWAP anchor and dropped it. So once again, last session dropped liquidity, so there was no more money to buy up. So I noticed that yesterday's session, 5 minutes, the first 5 minutes we bought, and then it dramatically sold. So that was a good buying opportunity, rejecting liquidity from the downside, bought up. But the market said there's no more orders to buy up, so they ran through liquidity. And now today we tested back up. So knocking out stops, grabbing stops. Buyers have to sell. They're panicking. They dropped it. And then on the books, again, I am recording this. Let's see if I can go back. On the books, we see 16 orders, which is on the futures market is pretty large. 16 buyer orders getting stopped out. And then there's 208 buyers getting absorbed, which is massive. So there's a lot of panic on the buy side to sell off. All right, so good stuff. Texas Yeti, fire. If I can find the icon, fire. Delta 88, 73 to 86 to 80. Fire. Great way to protect your profit. Would love to get to 20, but I'm sure you can walk away from today's session happy with the money that you made. Yep, great words of wisdom. He wasn't really sure about direction this morning with the upper inventory. Yeah, so I know we haven't talked too much about liquidity, but I'm gonna do a part two of my last video. I did last Saturday I did a video on my trading view chart, and then at the end I kind of went a little bit into how I view liquidity. I'm gonna do a part two of that this weekend as well. So we can talk about, liquidity runs versus liquidity rejection, or AKA liquidity grabs versus liquidity rejection or runs. So look out for that. I'm gonna try to get that knocked out this weekend for y'all. Yep, and look at them giving up. So the two time frame. Well, this is the first time frame. So one time frame traders, a trader could be a big institution. It could be a hedge fund. Who knows? But a one time frame trader just knocked down price pretty significantly. 221s down to now 220. So almost they're trying to work on a dollar move. Not quite yet, but it looked like with all these buyers getting nervous, yep, more of them are getting absorbed. I think there was some news from President Trump too that came out last night. I believe could be the catalyst for this drop as well. So everything lined up. Everything was was pointing to the fade today. All right, there is a more stops from the buyer side. Not as big as the first one, but 12 is just as big on the future side. But we're not in futures anymore. We're in cash, but just as big. And there's a small buyer iceberg that was detected. That doesn't mean it's been traded though. And then look at the well. So one time frame trader, which is we're still in the first 30 minutes. So that's one time frame is dropping the market. Oh, look, did we make a dollar yet? Yep, almost a dollar, almost 10 cents away from a dollar, 5 cents away from a dollar, a whole dollar move. That'll be great info. Yeah, look out for that. I'll spend some time tomorrow creating it, editing it, and then have my daughter do her magic to post it. You thought we may go grab it? Well, yes. So it was a good chance that we could grab that inventory first, but the futures market already did so. Even though it's not cash, it's IWM and RTY are pretty much the same. It's just one is futures, the other one is cash. So at 6 a.m. all the way to 8 o'clock Eastern, they grabbed that inventory and they continuously rejected that liquidity. So they kept basically, and not when I say liquidity rejection, it's AKA liquidity grab. So they basically grabbing money, and the money is the stops. Like I was trying to allude to yesterday or a couple of days, the market knows where people put their stops because it's documented on all kinds of trading books. ATR tells you to put your stop 2% or so above a swing high or a swing low. Market knows that it's going to grab that money. That's what liquidity is, and it's going to go in its intended direction. And that's exactly what he did. Grab that money from last session around 10:30 roughly. It did that in the futures market. There's no more money to grab, so it dropped it. It looks like they're taking profit now. This could be taking profit. This could be a continuation. Who knows? But as long as you get your money, where is it right now? $99. I think it went up to $100 at one point. Yeah, it's $100 now. So yeah, we left a lot of money on the table, but I'm very disciplined. I know what I want to get. I grab it. And if I get more, great. If not, I can walk away and be okay with it. Uh, is there another inventory around 221.85 to 222.70? Let's see. Oh yeah, you talking about that single print down. Yeah, for sure. 222.70 in that area. Yep. Yeah. There's inventory. I mean, because we had a massive sell-off yesterday, so there's definitely inventory there. But you also want to see how the market played it by looking at the TPO. And I am recording this, so let me do one better. When this load up, I'll point it out. And again, I'm gonna do a video tomorrow too, but if you check this out today, let's point that out. So here, and I know you can't see it right now, but this is the inventory you're talking about, 222.70-ish down to 221.85. So yeah, in this area for sure. But if you go back to July 31st, what did other participants do in that area? Every time it went into that area, they sold it. What the market did yesterday was take out those stops from July 31st around 10 o'clock. That swing high, oh, I'm sorry, that swing low. We know stops are up there. Yesterday's session took those stops out and dropped it. So that's why we had a buy up yesterday at the first 5 minutes to go get that money, and then it dropped. So just look at what other participants done in those areas. Yes, this is inventory, but just look at the entire picture. What did they do on the 31st? What did they do on the 5th of August? And what did they do last session in that same area? So hopefully that helps. Yeah. I mean, you're right, Texas Jetty. That is inventory. But what did they do prior? when price was in that area. It's like the analogy I like to use is the TV at a big box store. That's what I love. You know, if a television is $1,000 when you first go there, and those TVs aren't moving off the shelves, then that's telling you that other people are that believe that that television is not worth $1,000. So that TV is going to sit there. But if you come back the next day or the next week and now it's 500 and now they don't have any in stock, you understand what I'm saying? So hopefully that helps. That's what made the light go off for me. Maybe I'm not explaining it the right way, but it's just always looking at what happened in that area. Past information can give you a lot of insight of what could happen today. And then all you got to do is just look at the books or look at the footprint to see if it's actually going to happen or not, or if it's actually happening in real time. Yeah, I don't look back too far. I mean, I'll say maybe 7 days, because I think 7 days will pretty much tell you, what happened in that area, depending on where price is. If it's in range of a certain, like if we're out of balance, so the next thing you want to do is find the next closest profile that's in that range, right? And then see what happened. So and I wouldn't say I go back months, but it'd be, a few days, maybe seven at the most, maybe a week, and it'll tell you what happened in that area. If price is too expensive or it's just the right price, and what participants done in that area. Did they buy? Like last session, right? The seventh, other participants felt like IWM was worth 218.66 down to 218.6 or 218.10, and they started to buy from there. So you would think it did that on last session, and it did that August 5th, and actually did it August 4th, right? They bought, and they bought. Potential could buy again the next time we go there, and there's a swing high right at last session around 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Eastern. That could be some stops right there. So play the stop game, take the money, and go in the opposite direction. All right, Mike, I see you typing. So hopefully that explains. Again, I am recording. I'm not sure when this will be posted, but probably sometime later this evening. Okay. Sure. A mistake where you make some money is it's a good mistake. You just got to be careful. 220 calls, you bought it at 60 or 36 to 44. Hey, sometimes the trading gods are on your side. That's a mistake you didn't have to lose money on. So, all right, cool. Well, if there is no other questions or comments, I'm gonna get out of here. I do see on the books they're trying to sell it again. I don't know if I trust it now though to sell because we don't buy deviations. So the confluence is not there, but they're trying to sell it through again. I can't say I trust it though. All right. Uh, yep. Have a great weekend, Texas Jetty. Everybody have a great one. Have a great rest of your day. Delta 88, I see you typing. I'll stick around until I see your comment or question. Have a great weekend, everyone. Right. Absolutely. You have a great weekend yourself. All right, everyone. Have a great one. Bye.